Talk to me.
Tell your nigga to be
Talk
quiet.
to me.
Tell your nigga to be
All right,
quiet.
now you talking to me.
Tell your nigga to be
Back
quiet.
to what we was talking about.
Whatever.
Try that body shot shit.
I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you. Easy. That shit gonna be easy work. I promise you.
I'm
It don't
solid
matter.
as a
I'm
rock.
gonna knock you out, bro.
Oh,
You been hurt.
that's fact.
You got hurt by getting bored.
That's fact.
You got hurt by getting bored. Yeah.
You got hurt by a Campo. You got hurt by a Campo.
When have I got hurt by a Campo?
And you got hurt by Kelbrook. And you got hurt by Kelbrook.
When? We seen you get wobbly leg. We seen you get wobbly leg.
Then what?
We seen you.
After that.
It don't matter.
After that.
Wait till I hit you.
Wait till I hit you.
Sorry.
You gonna look like Benavidez.
You had one leg.
You gonna look like
one leg. He had one leg.
I'm gonna make you do snaky leg.
What you want to bet on that?
What you want to bet
No,
on?
you can bet 100,000 on that.
Let's bet $1 million.
Easy.
Let's bet $1 million. You getting that money?
Dre Spectre Boxing here with another one. Yo. I'm back with another one, man. Man, I love all the comments, man. Keep the comments coming, man. I love these discussions, man. You see, I reply to nearly most of all the comments, man, that I can. If you have something to say, man, I'm here to really just respond. Anything that you got to say, man, any viewpoints that you may have, if you got something intelligent to say, I really want to hear it, man. I really want to hear it. I really respect anybody who says something intelligent, man. It's been people in the comment section that's been bringing light to things that I don't even think of. But I respect it all, and like I say, man, I try to get the intelligent debate going instead of everybody who comes in here with this idiot stuff, man, you know, racism and all kind of stupid shit, man. I don't care about that stupid shit, man. I'm glad you came in and you viewed the video, but let's stick to some of the more intelligent stuff that you got to say about boxing, because I can show appreciation for that, man. But let's get on the video today, man. Errol Spence Jr. still the king of the 147-pound division, man. And I'm gonna tell y'all why I say he the king, because a lot of people get up in the comment section and they make a case for several different fighters, right? And one of the fighters being Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, the king. Manny Pacquiao is over the hill, right? He's 1 foot out the door. He's trying to get a payday. He's trying to get a payday without being hurt. That's the reason that he's not fighting Errol Spence Jr., man. We all see the writing on the wall. That is the reason, man. He's trying to find a Mayweather. Mayweather, at this point in Mayweather's career, cannot hurt Pacquiao the way that a young, upcoming lion could do. You know, and that's what Errol Spence Jr. is, a young, upcoming, hungry lion. And this guy, man, he would destroy Pacquiao, man. Let's be honest. Let's be real. A lot of people got a lot of faith in Pacquiao. And I have faith in Pacquiao being able to make it a competitive fight, way more competitive than Mikey Garcia made it. But at the end of the day, I know that Errol Spence Jr. youth, size, skills advantage would just be too superior. And I feel like his skills would be superior even if Manny was in his prime. So I'm just being honest with that. Y'all would have to prove me different, meaning otherwise, but there's no way to prove that because they didn't fight in the same era. So let's move on from that. The two kings of the welterweight division right now, I'm gonna say the king is because of the popularity and because of the attention that this last fight got, and because it's the fight that's of now, was Errol Spence, and it's the dominance that he displayed. Now it's time for the next king, the other king of the division, Terence Bud Crawford, to display his skills. He has to match. You ever seen somebody have a performance? I like comedy shows, right? So you ever seen a comedian come out on stage and then he shuts it down? The next comedian following him, it's hard to follow great comedians, you know, a great performance. If this person just shut it down and just did their thing, the next person coming out is going to have a hard time getting through to the audience and impressing the audience if they don't just shut it down or do something spectacular. And that's what I need from Terence Bud Crawford. I need him when he goes out to fight Amir Khan. I need him to be spectacular. Because the performance that Errol Spence just displayed, it was spectacular. You know, he dominated from start to finish. It was a one-sided, lopsided fight of pure domination. And then it got to the point where we were able to see Errol Spence just open up on him, you know. And people say, well, he didn't knock out Mikey Garcia. Let me tell you something. That was a technical knockout. TKO. They allowed Mikey Garcia to stand there and become a punching bag for 2 or 3 rounds longer than what he should have. And he finished the fight. But if you really want to be technical, they could have stopped that fight in the 9th round or the 10th round, of course. And that would have been a technical knockout. So in my book, that goes down as a technical knockout. That guy, they were arguing in the corner, Robert Garcia and his father, on stopping the fight. Because you can see it. Mikey Garcia had nothing for Errol Spence. He had nothing during the whole fight. So what makes you think that at this point in the fight, when Mikey Garcia, you know, towards the end of the fight, that he was going to do something miraculous and land some heavy shot that was going to just wobble Errol Spence or drop Errol Spence? It wasn't happening, man. Mikey Garcia had no power, no stamina, no nothing. He had no answers for anything that Errol Spence done. So that fight was, in my opinion, a technical knockout. All right, so let's get back on to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford has to show something against Amir Khan. He has to show complete domination. I'm talking about he cannot let that be a competitive fight. A competitive fight leads you to believe that if Errol Spence and Terence Bud Crawford fought, that Errol Spence would win. So you don't want the casuals to start thinking, oh, Errol Spence is that guy. So Terence Bud Crawford got to come with it, right? Because at the end of the day, Terence Bud Crawford has not proved anything at 147 pounds. I'm sorry. I give Terence Bud Crawford number 2 pound for pound in front of Errol Spence, right? The reason being that I give him number 2 pound for pound is all the work that he did at 140 pounds. Not the work that he did at 147. He has done nothing at 147. He fought Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn was a paper champ. He was a guy who robbed Pacquiao. I'm sorry, that championship did not belong to Jeff Horn. It was something that probably Bob Arum cooked up so that Jeff Horn can get that title, and then he can size up that fight for Terence Bud Crawford instead of facing Terence Bud Crawford versus Manny Pacquiao and trying to make money off of both of those guys. But it backfired on him and Manny Pacquiao left. Right? Well, let's fast forward. Terence Bud Crawford got that title, and then Terence Bud Crawford defended that title against Jose Benavidez, right? Benavidez came in there with an injured leg. You seen the knee brace or knee sleeve or whatever he had on his knee. The guy was basically fighting off of one leg, man. Let's be serious. That wasn't competitive. And I like Jose Benavidez. Man, I really like his dad, man. His dad is a great trainer, right? So I believe that fight is a lot more competitive. And you seen the fight was very competitive, even with a one-legged fighter. If that guy was not injured, I guarantee you that would have been a fight of the year candidate. But that guy could have probably gave Terence Bud Crawford a little bit more run for his money at 147 pounds. And you can see Terence Crawford is having his struggle, well, from that Benavidez fight, that he's going to have his struggle at 147 with the top fighters, man. Jose Benavidez is not considered a top fighter. He was unproven at 147 as well. But you got some fighters at 147 that can really give Terence Crawford a run for his money, and I'm sure of it. Because of the power, the strength. You know, skills are going to go only so far. If skills was the best, we wouldn't need weight classes, because we'll have guys who would just outskill everybody in the upper weight classes, right? These more skilled guys, right? That's not how it works, man. Everything plays its part. Everything plays its factor. Everything from physicality to the mentality of a fighter. So you cannot tell me that skills alone, he can outskill a guy. Mikey Garcia was a skilled fighter. He didn't outskill Errol Spence. He couldn't because Errol Spence was also a skill fighter with size, power, reach advantage. It's with everything. So you cannot sit up there and say skills alone is going to do what you think the impossible is. So I give Terence Crawford the pound for pound number 2 over Errol Spence because of his skills that he displayed at 140. But when you put them in the same division, oh, that's a different story. Now we talking, you know what I mean? At first we were comparing apples to oranges. So, you know, we don't know. Pound for pound is a possibility if you just took the skills and you would translate it for the same size, body type, and that type of stuff going up in weight class. Pound for pound is an imaginary theory. It's not actually something that's definite. So when we're talking about pound for pound, we're thinking hypothetically what could possibly happen. That's why pound for pound fighters are usually the smaller fighters if they were able to be as tall, as strong, as, you know what I mean, as the upper weight classes. Then they would be just, and with the skill set that they display, they would be just as good. It's a hypothetical. That's what pound for pound is. So when I say Terence Crawford is pound for pound better than Errol Spence, it's if Terence Crawford was the same weight, like if he was a natural welterweight. He's not a natural welterweight, sir. Like y'all don't understand. Terence Crawford is not a natural welterweight. Terence Crawford is a lightweight fighting at welterweight. He is a natural welterweight is somebody who starts out at that size. You cannot be a natural welterweight. You can't grow into a natural welterweight. That means that you didn't start at welterweight. So you started at lightweight. If you can make lightweight, you are a natural lightweight. If you can make that easy, you are a natural lightweight. That's who you are. Terence Crawford is a natural lightweight. Then he went up to 140 pounds, junior welterweight, right? Or super lightweight, whatever you want to call it. That's where he made his name and his mark. He defeated all the champions at 140 pounds. Became the undisputed champion at 140 pounds. He did all his work as a pound for pound fighter at 140 pounds. At 147, he is yet to be proven. He was given a championship, Jeff Horn. He defended against a tough guy, but was at a disadvantage because of a leg injury. So, what's next? He fights Amir Khan at 147. Amir Khan, really, you look at Terence Crawford's resume, and Amir Khan is the most talented person on Terence Crawford's resume. So it is not even close. You want to run down his resume? Go ahead and run down his resume and compare everybody to Amir Khan talent-wise, skill-wise. It may have been some tougher guys, may have been some stronger guys, may have been some guys with better chins, but it has not been as skilled fighter as Amir Khan on Terence Crawford's resume, right? And I see this being a competitive fight. If he cannot knock out Amir Khan, Terence Crawford being, if he cannot knock out Amir Khan, it's gonna be a chess match of an event. Like, Amir Khan is a boxer, man. Amir Khan is a boxer, and he's a boxer with elite. He has elite capabilities, elite skill set. And when I say elite, I'm talking about the hand speed. He has elite hand speed. And that's something you can't teach. He is a gifted fighter from that standpoint of hand speed. He is at the top of the game, or at the top of the, when you think about fighters with hand speed, generational all time, Amir Khan is simply one of the elite fighters at hand speed. And I'm not saying at power. I'm not saying at any other IQ, ring IQ, let me see, stamina. No, he is elite. He has an elite level of hand speed. Amir Khan, Achilles' heel has always been his chin. He's been up in fights in which he's lost because of his chin. His chin has failed him, right? So Terence Crawford has a lot to prove in the welterweight division at 147. This is going to be the test. Amir Khan is going to be that guy to test Terence Crawford so we can get a better measuring stick where Terence Crawford is right now. Because Terence Crawford was spectacular at 140 pounds. Terence Crawford is on the other side of 30 and he's competing at 147. Where is Terence Crawford right now? I'm going to tell you where he is. He's behind the number one guy at 147. The number one guy is Errol Spence Jr., man. It is Errol Spence Jr. because he's displayed the skill set at 147 to show. Let me tell you where I gauge how Errol Spence Jr. is the king of the welterweight division, because a lot of people is going to attack the resume and say he hasn't fought anybody. He's fought the guys who was available to him. These are guys who were available to him. Everybody else was not available to Errol Spence Jr. The reason they're not available is because of the skill set and the skills that he's displayed in the fights that he's been in. Errol Spence has disposed. He has annihilated. He has destroyed all the competition. All the competition. He has completely dominated anybody that he did not knock out. And I'm not just talking about Mikey Garcia. Let's go to Lardy. Let's go to, it was a couple other fights he had early in his career. Anybody that Errol Spence did not knock out, did not get the technical knockout decision, he is completely one-sidedly destroyed. You got to look at the guys, the A, the B level fighters, the C level fighters, the D level fighters. There is no difference in his performance against them. You ever look at basketball, you ever look at football, and the top teams, right? They go to play a lower level team and they have a letdown to the lower level person, meaning like they're an elite team. But when they go and play the worst team in the league, they have a letdown, and the worst team in the league is able to hang in there with them. That's not the case when you think of Errol Spence Jr. The worst fighter, if he steps up to Errol Spence Jr., he's annihilated. The best fighter, if he steps up to Errol Spence Jr., he is annihilated. Undefeated champions, annihilated. You know, up-and-coming prospects, annihilated. Everybody that's fought Errol Spence has been annihilated. Man, it hasn't been close. It hasn't been competitive. You had some guys who kind of pushed him a little, but at some point, it has turned and it was not competitive. It was Errol Spence and his legacy that he is creating. So, Errol Spence, in my opinion, because of the work that he does in the ring, he is the number one 147-pound fighter. The work that he does in the ring, and you add in the fact that the other top 147-pound fighters are deliberately finding reasons not to fight the guy. That right there shows you that's the 147-pound champ. He is the king of the division. And you can see the writing on the wall, man. These guys were finding all kind of reasons not to fight him. But the tables have turned. As Errol Spence tweeted, the tables have turned. These guys, they can't come up with a reason. They can't come up with a reason why they can't fight him. They need an excuse right now. Nobody has the excuse right now why you can't fight him. Who has the excuse that why you can't fight him? Pacquiao? Pacquiao got the best excuse going. I'm old. All Pacquiao fans have came out of the woodworks and Before Pacquiao did that poll, right? Before Pacquiao did that poll, and Pacquiao said that he basically excluded Errol Spence from the poll, the Pacquiao poll, the now infamous Pacquiao poll, who he wants to fight next. Before he excluded it, Pacquiao fans, after the fight, after Pacquiao got in the ring and said that Pacquiao, why not, he would fight him, Pacquiao fans came out of nowhere. Hadn't seen him in a couple months since the Broner fight. Pacquiao fans came out of nowhere and said, oh yeah, Pacquiao destroys Errol Spence. He exposes Errol Spence. And I seen these comments. They were everywhere. But then when Pacquiao jumped ship, turned to, and changed his whole mindset of getting that Errol Spence fight, they say, well, the same Pacquiao fans, when Pacquiao's old, he can choose who he want to fight. He can fight who he wants to fight. He doesn't have to fight big bad Errol Spence. Why not? Pacquiao words. Why not? Why not fight Errol Spence? Why not fight a guy that's at the top of his game? Why not fight a guy who's selling out AT&T Stadium? Why not? A pay-per-view star on the rise. Why not? If you cannot get a Mayweather fight, the next best pay-per-view fight you can get is Errol Spence from a money standpoint. So why not Pacquiao? Remember, he doesn't have the power. He doesn't have the power that you thought he had. And when you went and watched him in person, Errol Spence Jr. did not display the power that you thought he had. And everybody's saying, oh, Errol Spence don't have the power now. Okay, well, why not fight him? Why not? I'll tell you why not. Because the fear of Errol Spence has risen. Because at one point you feared his power. You feared his dominance. Now you fear the skills to go with that. It's not just the power. He can give you all. Man, right now this guy is at the top of his game. He is coming into his prime. He has grew into his adult body. This guy's at the prime of his game. He's 29 years of age. He's on the right side of 30. But he's a developed prime fighter. Anybody fighting Errol Spence right now, they're going to lose. I'm just telling you right now. They're going to lose. There's not anyone beating Errol Spence right now. There's not anybody at 147 beating Errol Spence right now. I beg to say, there's not anybody at 154 pounds beating Errol Spence right now. I'm telling you, that's the way the dominance of Errol Spence is going right now. So, let's get to Terence Crawford. So, we got the Terence Crawford. Let's get to Shawn Porter. All right? Shawn Porter has said that he wants to fight Errol Spence now. It's a long time coming, Shawn Porter. Kenny Porter said him. Shawn Porter didn't prove anything. Shawn Porter doesn't have a belt. We're not looking at Errol Spence hasn't proven anything. Errol Spence don't have a belt. We're not looking at Errol Spence. Errol Spence is not on our radar. We want Keith Thurman. We want such. We don't even want to think about Errol Spence Jr. Smoke and mirrors. It's a reason that they were ducking Errol Spence Jr. This guy is the truth. This guy, they have seen him up close and personal. Kenny always talks about, because Kenny is a big supporter of Errol Spence, whether you know it or not. Kenny Porter is a big supporter of Errol Spence. He's at all his fights. He's rooting him on. He's cheering him on. He has never hidden the fact that Earl is one of my guys. That's one of my guys. Earl is one of my guys. That's Kenny Porter line. Kenny Porter is one of Earl's biggest fans. And it's a reason being. He kept his son, who was a pro way before Errol Spence, away from Errol Spence. Who was a champion before Errol Spence. He kept him away, deliberately kept him away from Errol Spence. It's a reason. Errol Spence, even early on in his career, fighting Shawn Porter, his career suicide. That stops your career in the tracks. Errol Spence destroys 147 pounders. And they talk about other guys being small and Earl being big. Shawn Porter was a big 147 pounder. He's shorter, but he's a big 147 pounder. Keith Thurman is a big 147 pounder. But they know to stay away from Errol the True Spence Jr. But I like that Shawn Porter has finally came around because the money is right, of course. Now he's begging for a Errol Spence fight. He would love that fight now. And who wouldn't, though? Because at this point, it becomes lucrative to fight Errol Spence. The guy is a pay-per-view star. The guy is at the top of the 147-pound division. You fight him, you get at least paid. You know, you get some financial stability fighting Errol Spence. He is the new Floyd Mayweather of the division. And it's only going to grow. His demand and popularity is only going to grow. This guy stays out of trouble. He's not, being shot at clubs, talking shit on the internet, throwing money at clubs. You don't see that type of behavior. You see this guy working. He's always working. He's taking care of his business. He's being a man. And that's what you want to see from the champion of the welterweight division, the king of the welterweight division. That's what you want to see. And there's some guys out there, they still holding belts. But let me tell you something. They like zeros. They're placeholders. That's what I mean when I say they're like zeros. I'm not trying to diminish their fame or their skill sets or anything. I'm just saying these guys are zeros when it comes to the point that they are placeholders. All of those guys are placeholders. Let me tell you something. Errol Spence Jr. is the truth. He's going to prove it time and time again. Man, y'all going to look back. Y'all going to think about listening to some of these videos, and you're going to understand that I shouldn't have bet against Errol Spence. I shouldn't have went against the grain. I should have been on this since day one. I'm witnessing greatness. And you're gonna kick yourself for being on the other side. Always rooting for the guy who could, the underdog. Some people don't get enough of rooting for the underdog. They're looking for somebody who can, and it may work against some people, but not here. Again, I told y'all Terence Crawford is the other king of 147, and he would be the undisputed champ, possibly. He would possibly be, I think he still gets a fight out of Keith Thurman, but he'd be possibly able to unify and be the undisputed champion at 147 if Errol Spence wasn't at 147. But Errol Spence is at 147. Terence Crawford is going to have to face him. And that's not a fight that I feel Terence Crawford can win. Because Earl is equally as skilled, more powerful, more disciplined, more technically sound than Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Bud Crawford exchanges too many times. He gets in too many exchanges, deviates away from the game plan too many times, and it hasn't cost him at lightweight the way it did against Gamboa, but it hasn't cost him to the point in which he's lost at lightweight. It hadn't cost him at 140 at junior welterweight, but I guarantee you it will cost him at 147 if he steps up to Errol Spence. Those trades at 147 against those bigger fighters, when you become undisciplined and you decide to trade with those fighters, hey, that's going to cost you. Couple that into the fact the way that Errol Spence cuts the ring off, Terence Crawford will not be able to escape the onslaught of Errol Spence Jr. This guy is a dog as well. I know Terence Crawford is a dog, but this guy is a dog, but he does it in a more technical way. He breaks you down. He's doggish in a disciplined way. He's the loyal dog. And he's the big dog at 147. Hey, Dre Spective, that's all I got for y'all right now, man. I'm gonna try to keep this content up. I need to address some other videos. I'm gonna try to get to I got some Canelo topics. I got some heavyweight topics. I got 154-pound division topics. Man, I got some more. I got some more to get out there, man. I'm trying to get some more of this information out there. I'm gonna try to keep bringing y'all videos. It gets hard. I work a full-time job. I work on call. I don't work like a regular 9 to 5 like some of you guys work. I work a on-call job. So I'm gonna try to get as much information out here as I can, man. That's all I got for you today. That's Dre Spective, and I'm out.